STR Boujack. Ooh, man, oh man. When he at first came out, I felt as if though he was a worse version of Cooler because let's just go ahead and go over everything about this guy, right? That's almost similar to Cooler. So first things first is the support type buff to Space Traveling Warriors when you go up against one enemy, and it gets stronger as you go up against multiple enemies. You get 10% attack and defense more to Space Traveling Warriors category allies when you face two enemies, and you get additional 10% attack and defense more when you're facing three or more enemies, right? So his buff can go up to 2 key and 50% attack and defense. Meanwhile, Cooler over here, all he had to do was go up against one enemy for a transformation boost to have 2 key and 30% attack and defense to allies, and Terrifying Conquerors to get to their support type buff of 2 key and 50% attack and defense facing two or more enemies. This was just much more better because A, this guy supported both the category teams that he led, and B, it's like you either got one when you were in battle road because this is more than likely where you're going to get it off, right? Or you got this one going up against literally the entire game because you were more than likely always going up against one enemy. This is just outright better as a support type passive because this was just more consistent, right? It was like A, you brought this team against Battle Road and got this off, or B, you brought this against like the rest of the game to get this off, right? We go back on over to Bojack, right? It's just he's only supporting one of his category teams. So you guys get the difference. He's supporting both his category teams, which is just outright better, and he's supporting one of his category teams. So of course that is in terms worse. We go over to Bojack and Cooler post transformation, right? Of course, Cooler pre-easy A post transformation. They both stack attack, right? Right over here. They both gain 3 key and 180% attack and defense at the start of turn, right? They both have additional super attack chance, right over here, yeah? And here's what the difference is split off at post-transformation, right? He gets stronger offensively and defensively with the amount of key spells obtained that you get, and Cooler just performs guaranteed crits against damn near the entire game. He performs guaranteed crits against pure hyper stance category characters, guys. What? And you got him over here just getting stronger. Like, what are you taking? Are you taking attack and defense with 6 key spears obtained to get all that off? Or are you going to take Cooler's guaranteed crits? You are taking Cooler's guaranteed crits. And of course, the one big thing that would separate these two completely is their link set. Cooler had a stronger link set than this guy, right? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dev back with another one of these dokkan battle videos, and today I want to talk about STR Boujack. So STR Boujack is a unit that will come out during the Extreme Super Battle Road meta, and I think that Boujack during the Extreme Super Battle meta was quite good, right? Because although his offensive stat was at 15,802 rainbowed, he did have a very high defensive stat rainbowed at 12,000. His defensive stat was at 12,000 rainbow, and I found that that was very, very impressive about him. Also, the fact that he does gain defense on super is very, very good, right? So how would he perform during the Extreme Super Battle meta? I felt as though this guy was performing already great during the Extreme Super Battle meta because this guy is on Extreme STR, right? And guess who's on Extreme STR with him, supporting him, right? Wait, is he on Transformation Boost? He is on... He's on Terrifying Conquerors too, right? So, if you were running these two alongside each other inside Extreme Super Battle Road, STR Cooler is giving him 2 key and 50% attack and defense. Yeah? So, I mean, listen, Bojack inside Extreme Super Battle Road was pretty nasty right next to STR Cooler, because STR Cooler was supporting him, and Bojack was also supporting Cooler, because when you go up against 3 or more enemies with Bojack, he gives Space Traveling Warriors category allies 2 key and 50% attack and defense. So they were both giving each other 2 key and 50% attack and defense, although they were not linking up well. Sure, they didn't link up well, but they gave each other big, substantial support type buffs. They gave each other 2 key and 50% attack and defense. That's great. That is really, really good. You have one sitting in slot 2, lowering their attack. You have one sitting in slot 1, provided he doesn't get touched by a super attack, he'll look good, right? So Bojack was a bit of a killer because he had this guy on the side. And not for nothing, I felt as though Extreme STR, was Extreme STR the best Extreme typing back in 2020? Might have been, because for Extreme Super Battle Road, let's take a look at Extreme STR, right? I felt as if though that super physical phase was cake. It was like not even close. It was so easy. Like let's let's go ahead and just run it, right? I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what exactly I mean by Extreme STR probably being the best typing back in 2020, yeah? So we can start from the bottom, and the reason why I want to start from the bottom is because we have two very powerful attack debuffers, that being STR Sin, right? No, it's STR Omega. You have STR Omega, then you have Perfect Cell right over here, right? Cell, STR Cell would debuff the enemy's attack by 20% passively, and then he would debuff enemy's attack by 40% passively. So that's a combined 60% attack lowering. And if they were both floating off rotation, just getting inside the third slot, and then getting back on rotation with this guy who's on full power, guess what? STR Omega gave this guy 2 key and 40% attack, right? Yeah, right? Because he's on full power. Is STR cool on full power? No, he is not. But still, the case is that we had very powerful attack debuffers as well as very powerful offensive defensive units for Extreme STR. So him being on probably the best Extreme class typing, well, excuse me, the Extreme typing for, you guys get what I mean, for Battle Road, right? I'm pretty much having brain farts. He was on the best Extreme class typing back in 2020, in my opinion. All right? While getting support from STR Cooler, who's probably still one of the best TURs in the game back in that time. Hey, probably. Honestly, he was probably one of the best TURs back in 2020, yeah? So, let's talk about how this guy would look in today's meta. Ooh, man. You don't run him in today's meta, alright? I'm just gonna get that out the way, because his links are a little weird. I mean, his best linking partner is definitely... yeah, that's right. I forgot. I keep forgetting that his best linking partner is literally himself. And this is a very unfeasible rotation because neither of them are tanking inside meta content, right? I mean, Imp Boujack is definitely good, for sure. I felt as though Imp Boujack's EZ8 was definitely warranted. It was pretty good, yeah? But the problem is that STR Boujack is the problem. STR Boujack is touched. You guys know the saying, he gets folded. He's done. He's up out of here, yeah? Like, he's getting put 6 feet under. So yeah, his link set is a little wonky for meta content, and he does not have enough defense to support himself inside that content anyways, right? And I believe he is only on he's only on one 200% leader skill, huh? He's only on LR Final Form Coolers 200% leader skill because he's Terrifying Conquerors and Transformation Boosts as well as movie bosses too, right? Go back on over to him. Full power, no. Transformation boost, no. Time travelers, no. Terrifying Conquerors, I mean, obviously. Well, yeah, transformation boost, obviously, yeah, but transformation boost doesn't have a standalone 200% leader skill, so, I mean, still. The case still stands. Inhuman Deeds, a no. Space Traveling Warriors, I mean... No, he's on Ginyu's 200% leader skill too, right? Because Ginyu's is Terrifying Conquerors and Space Traveling Warriors. So yeah, he's on Ginyu's 200% leader skill as well as Final Form Coolers, yeah? That's very good. He's not on Tech Bardoc's 200% leader skill because he's not a pure Saiyan. So yeah, him being on 200% leader skill is nice. And when he does get a easy, he's going to look much more better, yes? So what is good about STR Boujack? Now, what is good about this guy, of course, at the time of his release, is the fact that this guy was released during, of course, one of the toughest contents in the game, that being Extreme Super Battle Road, and he was sitting right next to STR Cooler supporting him, and they were supporting each other with 2 key and 50% attack and defense, yes? And this guy also gained defense on Super. He had a very easy transformation condition going up against one enemy from the 4th turn from the start of battle. It could provide you a bit of issues inside Battle Road, sure, but, I mean... provided you did kill off those enemies fast enough and leave one enemy alive, this guy would transform and just be a complete menace offensively, right? Because he would stack his attack, start out with 3 key and 180% attack and defense to start a turn. Before I move on, I would argue that for Boujack, his 3 key, it helped him out more than Cooler. I would probably say so, because Cooler's link set's already good. Strongest Clan Space, Thirst of Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Universal Most Level. I've argued that his link set is easily better than STR Boujack's, but going back on over to STR Boujack, of course, he started out with 3 key and 180% attack defense as well as stack and attack. He had additional super attack chance, so he was able to triple super attack. He would do his first super attack. He would then again get his passive super attack off, and then if you had potential system in him, this guy would go ahead and do another super attack for you. So he can stack his attack 3 times, right? Because he had additional super attack chance. As well as him getting more defensively strong as you got key spears obtained. He can gain up to 60% attack and 30% more defense, provided you got him 6 or more key spears obtained, right? So, Boujack, Bojack was better looking defensively at the start of turn than Cooler was. And the reason why I keep comparing Cooler to Bojack is because they're so similar, right? Because they're both support type units. They both have similar post transformations, and they are both on the same typing, right? They're both extreme STR, yeah. And they both have very good transformation conditions, right? Yeah. Yeah, they both do. Except Cooler's is better. It's just I feel like Bojack's just the worst Cooler. Let's talk about what's bad about Bojack, right? Now, what is bad about Bojack would have to be his subpar design to Cooler. It's like him existing to be on Cooler's team is pretty much what I think that Dokkan was going for, right? Because he supports Cooler, because Cooler's a space driving warrior, yeah? Because yeah, he supports Cooler. They support each other, but more so Cooler is the better support type unit. Cooler, I would argue, has the better transformation condition because his is at the third turn rather than him being at the fourth turn, and his is not only up against one enemy restricted, right? Because it's just against a pure high stance category enemy from the third turn, and his is one enemy from the fourth turn. Of course, Cooler has a better link set. Post transformation, Cooler is a better unit because even though they both have similar key attack and defensive buffs and super attack chance, and they both stack attack, I will argue that guaranteed critting against practically the entire game is way more valuable than just more additional attack and defense, right? Now, sure, Bojack will look defensively better than Cooler at the time, but guess what? Cooler left nothing alive back in 2020. Cooler was not playing that shit. Cooler touched you, you exploded. That was all she wrote. So yes, I feel as though the problem with Bojack is, I feel like his design being subpar to Cooler's. They should have went with a completely different design, and I think they should have changed his typing. He has no business of being on Extreme STR. Even though it was the best Extreme class typing, in my opinion, back inside 2020, I feel as if though he has no business being on this typing. But I think that is really about it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.